Yes,
You're
Paul.
better at cake, aren't you?
I'm pretty good at cake, yeah.
Chocolate cake.
Especially chocolate cake, yeah.
What are you stuffing your face with, Dave?
Mince.
Mint sauce.
No, there's slimming mince.
Slimming mint.
Oh, man.
Slimming mint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, who are we missing?
Chris. One.
Back in training this week, though.
Oh yeah.
So
what are you
I'm
training for?
Putting down hot biscuits.
Yeah. What's your next race?
Well, it's 30 weeks at Ironman.
All right, blimey.
Oh, grief.
Swam 100 lengths this morning.
Just the 100.
You too.
Oh, not worth getting out, going out.
Which pool is it? Was it Drumfield
No,
Sports
Graves.
Centre? Oh,
Graves.
Gray. Oh, of course, Graves. Yeah.
Mine, I started on Sunday.
Just
comment there.
100 lengths.
Your comment there, Keith, about hardly worth going out for. I don't know if I told you this. Somebody was doing a Rob Wilton impersonation the other week, and they said they were at a funeral, and they're all stood round the grave, and they're all getting on in years. He said, "You must be getting on a bit now. How old are you?" He says, 85. It's hardly worth you going home, is it?
Oh dear, that. There we go. His Rocket Ron's coming in, and then I think we're waiting for today. And there we are. Right, Dave. To continue.
About Liverpool. Yeah. Do you think Salah dived to get that free kick, Ian?
Yes.
Draws in the other fixtures: Chelsea, Burnley, Brighton, Newcastle,
Oh,
Everton,
all right then.
and Dirty versus Leicester. I've left Arsenal versus Watford till last. Arsenal won the match 1-0, but Ranieri was left fuming after claiming his side put the ball out of play due to an injured player. That Arsenal did not throw the ball back to a Watford player and led to the Arsenal goal.
Sounds
I'm
familiar.
trying to remember. I think
Yeah.
they've
got previous.
Yeah, got a bit of a history.
Got previous 1998.
No,
I'm not-
Chris.
I'm not bitter.
No, I'm not. But
Cheating sods.
We'd have won that.
We would. It would definitely have won it.
Stop sitting on the fence, Chris. Come out with it.
Yeah.
Cheating era. The only person that came out of that incident in '98 was, I've never said this before, Steve Bruce did a good job at that point. I've never said that before. And but Arsene Wenger was brilliant. I thought his level of sportsmanship elevated him way beyond the normal football manager.
I like Arsene Wenger. I like him.
Hang on a minute. He's being sarcastic.
No, I'm not. I thought Arsene Wenger was brilliant over the incident. Absolutely brilliant, Keith. He'd no need to do that.
Yeah, for to replay the game, didn't he?
No need to do it.
I'll take issue with you on that.
Okay. All right.
What's up with you today, Keith?
I'll bring you that.
I'll tell you why. Because United were very close to forcing a replay at Bramall Lane.
Yeah, that's right.
And when the commentator said to Arsene Wenger, will the replayed match be at Bramall Lane? It just sort of laughed and said, I'm stupid.
No.
Well, exactly.
He was ultra professional.
If he'd done the right thing, the replay would have been at Bramall Lane.
Some people are never satisfied. Are they?
No.
Absolutely. These Blaze supporters, especially.
Yeah.
No,
Arsene Wenger did everything correctly, Keith, in that respect, because he'd no need to offer anything to any club other than have won the match. He'd just move on. But he didn't do that because he didn't want to win with such an obvious, flagrant misuse of the rules as they weren't written down.
I have a bit of regret about that game, actually. I was right behind the goal, behind David Seaman's goal.
All right.
And I know David Seaman, he was my goalkeeper. And at the time, the people I was with, I said, I'm tempted to go and have a quick word with David Seaman because there's an easy way out of this. All you've got to do is kick off and let United score equaliser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that would have solved the problem. And I do regret, I should have had a word because, I know him reasonably well.
Yeah. Really, I didn't know
How would you have done that without getting arrested? Oh.
I would have asked the copper to come and go and see him. We were about 6 rows behind him. That was all. And he was sort of hanging around in his goal. He was sort of leaning on the goalpost and things like that. I think it would have been doable.
that.
Leaning on the goalpost at the corner.
Yeah, that's possibly what should have happened.
Yeah.
Arsenal should have said straight away, hang on a minute, let them score.
Yeah.
We'd have missed anyhow.
No, we wouldn't.
When was this, BC or AD?
98.
98, yeah. Right. Okay.
This
Results left Chelsea 3 points clear and Man City in second, West Ham in third, with Liverpool 4 points behind in fourth. Crisis.
There will be in the new year when the Africa Cup takes place. That will undo Liverpool.
I don't think there's any danger of West Ham doing a Leicester, do you?
No,
It's not beyond possibilities, but it's unlikely.
It's a
not,
funny season.
not a
for it.
cat in hell's chance.
They said
But
that
that's
about
what
Leicester.
people said about Leicester. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Leicester on top. It won't happen. I would.
Yes, it will.
I would stake my reputation on it.
You haven't got a bloody reputation.
You haven't got a reputation.
That's not much, is it?
That one.
Get back in your loft.
Very lucky team. Very lucky team.
Now for the really serious topic of the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They beat Bristol City 3-2. Bournemouth beat Swansea. Fulham won at Peterborough, but West Brom could only draw at home to Middlesbrough. Bournemouth lead the division by 2 points from Fulham. West Brom are 8 points behind them, and Coventry 10 points behind. Following the weekend games, Daniel Park was sacked by Norwich. Dean Smith went at Villa, while managerial appointments saw Antonio Conte in at Spurs and Eddie Howe at Newcastle. In the Championship, Middlesbrough, after seeing Neil Warnock set a record of 1,602 games as an English manager, sacked him and replaced him with Chris Wilder. First question, who was the previous record holder?
Dario Gradi.
Gradi.
Correct, yeah. Fairly easy one. There was only one contender. In the FA Cup, there was a big upset as 6th-tier St Albans beat the Division 3 leaders Forest Green, while Sunderland lost at home to Mansfield for the second successive season.
Excellent.
Did anyone see the goal that Mansfield scored?
No.
No. Why, go on, what happened?
The goalkeeper of Sunderland kicked it straight in the penalty area, kicked it straight to a Mansfield player on the ground. It was absolutely fantastic.
Was it Lee Burge in goal for Sunderland?
I don't know, Jonathan. I don't know, but it was it was beyond description that you could be as bad as that as a professional goalkeeper. But there you go. I'll tell you what, St Albans have got a right game on their hands in the second round.
Yeah,
a right game on their hands. It's all very well beating Forest Green, but wait till you get to the Wood. Wait till you get to Boreham Wood. I'm telling you, big upset coming, Boreham Wood. Get your money on them.
No, it's a bit the other way around, the upset.
Yeah.
St Albans are,
Lower.
they have been in the second round before, apparently.
Oh, Wednesday got it to beat Plymouth.
I don't know. I didn't bother looking.
Rochdale,
Don't expect to beat next round.
Rochdale or Notts County.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Wonderful.
Home or away?
away.
Away.
Oh,
Away.
fantastic.
I can't imagine Plymouth wanting to come back up here.
No.
Up to Nottingham anyway. Or,
I don't think Wednesday want to come back up here, do they?
Massive
dear.
crowd.
Actually United,
Massive
Yeah,
crowd.
I think that's the second lowest crowd I've been in at Hillsborough.
yeah.
How many was there?
Apart from reserves, 7,000 and odd.
7.
I've been in a 6,000
Wow.
crowd in old third division days. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did look
I mean-
sparse.
What worries me is
Jonathan, it
Yeah.
was Burge who was in goal for Sunderland.
It was Burge. He was quite a good
It
keeper,
was, yes. Yeah.
but he never did anything like that for us.
yeah. What worries me is United's next league game is Coventry at home at Bramall Lane.
It ain't worth playing.
No.
We've only won twice away from home all season.
Oh, you
they
wait,
are
you,
indeed.
you wait for Christmas at Bramall Lane, I'll tell you.
Right.
What a shower. As predicted, what a shower.
And is that it then, Dave?
No.
Oh.
Horse racing.
Oh,
Local news, local sports news. Steelers have been at it again.
Ridden by William Buick and trained by Colin Appleby, won the Breeders' Cup Mile in California on Saturday by 3/4 of a length from Smooth Like Straight. The duo also won 2 other races at the meeting with the Ubia and Modern Games. While in the Melbourne Cup, Very Elegant produced a storming finish to win by 4 lengths from the hot favourite Incentivize. Britain's Spanish Mission, trained by Andrew Baldwin, was 3rd. Olympics. Modern pentathlon chiefs have confirmed that horse riding will be removed from the sport after the Paris 2024 Olympics. Cycling is the most likely replacement. Tennis. Novak Djokovic beat the Russian Daniil Medvedev by 2-1 after losing the first set to win the Paris Masters. The win ensured Djokovic ending the year ranked number 1 for a record 7th time, beating the record set by
Federer.
Federer, I suppose.
Pete Sampras.
Pete Sampras. Yeah, correct.
All right.
Boxing. Mexican Canelo Alvarez knocked out Caleb Plant, who was previously unbeaten in the 11th round, to become the undisputed world super middleweight champion in Las Vegas. Alvarez became the first world champion at 168 pounds in boxing history to hold all 4 belts. Golf. Belgian Thomas Peters carded a final round of 68 to win the Portugal Masters by 2 shots, along with a place in the season-ending DP World Tour Championship. Snooker. The final of the English Open was between John Higgins, who beat Ronnie O'Sullivan in the semi-final, and Neil Robertson, who beat Mark King in the other. A thrilling final saw Robertson beat Higgins by 9 frames to 8.
All youngsters, aren't they?
In the Championship, Sheffield United drew 1-1 with Forest in midweek. But at the weekend, despite breaking his duck and Brewster getting a goal, the Blades managed to lose 3-1.
What a goal, though, David. Terrific goal. One of the best goals I've seen for a long time.
Would it, Dave? Really?
Oh, beauty. Volleyed it.
completely useless.
Everybody else didn't turn up.
I'm not having.
On forward line anyway. Defence conceding 3. Barnsley beat Derby 2-1 for their first league win since August, that then lost at home to Hull 2-0 at the weekend to remain in the bottom 3. In the First Division, Sheffield Wednesday left Sunderland rushing to get out of South Yorkshire after they beat them 3-0, following Rotherham's 5-1 win over the same side. Well, they were away draws for Rotherham at Charlton and Doncaster at Crewe, both ending 1-1. The local First Division clubs were then involved in the first round of the FA Cup at the weekend, with the Owls held to a goalless draw at Hillsborough. Rotherham beat Bromley at the New York Stadium, while Doncaster won at Scunthorpe. Chesterfield were also involved in the first round, running out 3-1 winners over Southend, despite going behind after 4 minutes. Apparently, I missed all the excitement in that game. I was at Chesterfield because a friend of mine's a Southend supporter. The excitement came in the last added on time, 5 minutes. 1 penalty missed by Southend, and then 1 player sent off on each side for fighting. Sheffield
Never leave before the end.
Never leave before the end. It's true, Keith, true.
Sheffield FC lost 6-1 at Marske United in the Northern League Division 1 East, while Handsworth FC beat Knaresborough Town 1-0 in the Tool Station Northern Counties East League. We mentioned the cup draw, although Chesterfield will visit Salford City, while Rotherham have a home tie against Bolton or Stockport. And Wednesday we've already mentioned, and St Albans. Ice hockey, after outclassing 5 players 6-0 in midweek, the Steelers faced stiffer opposition on Saturday night, the Belfast Giants. However, in the first period, they demolished the Giants with 5 goals in front of over 6,200 fans. Although at one time 1-1 in the first period, they ended up leading 5-1. And that's the score that remained until the final, until 2 more Steelers goals in the third gave them a 7-1 victory. The Steelers then travelled to Guildford on Sunday, where unusually it was goalless after the first 3 periods and to the end of the 4th quarter. It was only in overtime when the deadlock was broken, as Dane Todd scored for the Steelers in the 4th minute of added on time of extra time, giving the Steelers a 4-point weekend. They topped the Elite League by 5 points from Guildford Flames, with Nottingham Panthers 6 points behind, with 3 games in hand, and Coventry Blaze in 4th, 7 points behind, but 4 games in hand. Basketball, Sheffield Sharks, after trailing the Manchester Giants for 3 periods, were down 6 points, but took the last period by 23 points to 16 to win by the narrowest of margins, 89 points to 88. And after 2 games, lead the table on points difference. Sheffield Hatters have no fixture. Rugby Union, after 3 successive victories, the Sheffield Tigers were at Tynedale, where they were beaten by 24 points to 18 and remained 10th in the National League 2 North table. Rugby League.
Yeah.
Missed it. The Sheffield Eagles signed 3 more players in preparation for the 2022 season. Former Bradford Bulls centre Ross Oakes, York City back Jason Bass, and versatile second row turned centre Kadeem Williams have returned to the Eagles after 3 years. There you go.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dave.
So,
Talking about 8 goals and not leaving before the end. I sit next to quite an elderly man in the my season ticket at Coventry, and 4 times he's missed injury time or overtime goal. 4 times. I missed Saturdays because I was working, but that was
Bit
exceptional.
like me, that Keith, wasn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
They used to, if they were losing or drawing, and then Jeff would always say, "Go on, get this in off, Dave. They'll score after you've gone."
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
I did the reverse of that, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I once got to the match and sat down as the like as the referee's assistant, put up how many minutes there were to go in injury time,
Really?
of which there were 4.
Did you know that you were going to be that late?
I did know I was going to be that late. Yeah, I was playing cricket. It got rained off. I thought I'll go. I get there for the second half, but the problem was I couldn't park anywhere. Couldn't get near enough to the ground to get in. So I saw 4 minutes of injury time.
There's nothing worse though than arriving for a game late, is there? You
No,
hear the
no.
club of sound and
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know somebody who left. You know, when United got to the quarter final of the cup and it went to penalties, it ended up playing Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know somebody who left before the penalty shootout.
Oh,
Can you imagine that?
Was there a transport problem or?
Not at all. He always used to leave before kick-off to avoid the crowd. No,
He left before the penalty shootout.
Before the penalty shootout. Unbelievable.
Wow.
He should have been shot.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean,
do you remember a defender, a central defender called Richard Shaw, who played for Crystal Palace,
Yes.
Coventry? And I was at Gillingham one day and I had to leave the game slightly early. And there was this terrific roar from the Coventry end because Richard Shaw scored his only goal in 632 games or something. And it was a real corker, apparently.
right. Yeah. I mean, Sue and myself once went to York to see United play a pre-season friendly. And as we were walking to
You know how to treat a woman.
I know, exactly. And as we were walking to the ground, we said, "Phew, it's pretty quiet around here." And, you know, there were no seemingly signs of a football match. I said, well, it's only a pre-season friendly anyway. So anyway, as we got nearer, we could hear a bit of a noise. And what had happened is the kickoff had been brought forward an hour. So we got to see the second half.
Yeah. Keith, when I was scouting for United, they sent me to Dirty Leeds to see a player. And I put the radio on when I set off. And the commentator says it's just approaching half time. So I'd missed the first half. They didn't tell me, but I thought it was an afternoon kickoff. And they never told me.
Did they sign the player on the strength of your invaluable report?
Probably.
It was Kilgallen, actually.
Yeah.
Kilgallen. We bought a good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
We had 2 friends come up from down south, folk singers, and they were staying with us, and they were here on the Saturday and said, do you know, the rugby league, I really fancy watching that. Can we go to? And I looked at the paper and said, yeah, Wakefield are at home. Go to Wakefield. So off we went to Wakefield. Found the ground, all locked up, all very quiet, nothing happening. Set off back, called in at a pub for a drink and a bite, asked about it, and they said, oh, aye, it's the Magic Weekend, they're all in Edinburgh. Oh.
Oh, great. Yeah. Right. Is that, have we done Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Dave.
No, this is a second round of applause. Well done.
So Keith was asleep during the first one.
Yeah, he loses focus. It's his age, isn't it?
Well done, Dave. Well done.
Right.
They're going to make him US president.
Chris,
Hello.
Chris, before you do tell us about Derek.
Just briefly, yeah.
John, you've got 4 questions.
I've got 4 questions left. It's not British athletics and this in the 60s. Who broke the world record in winning the 800 meters gold in Tokyo 1964?
And Packer.
Anne Packer, yeah.
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah.
what did she do in the 400 meters?
Second.
Yeah, she got silver.
Yeah.
Which surprised the Lone Ranger. Yeah. What position did her fiance Robbie Brightwell finish in the 400 meters final?
Third.
Fourth.
Third.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth.
He was waiting at the finish line, wasn't
Which football team did their sons, Ian and David, play for?
Fourth.
he?
Brightwell.
Sherwood's. One of them played for
Yeah,
Chelsea.
Ian and David Brightwell.
Brightwell.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, well, sorry.
Man City.
Man City.
Man City, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, who broke the world record in the 200 meters and the 200 yards in 1960?
Is it Hayes? Bobby Hayes?
Dorothy Hyman.
No, it's a bloke.
Can't remember sprinters back.
Yeah, the
One
first
of our
one to
lads.
break 10 seconds for the 100 meters.
One
was-
of our runners.
Oh yeah, it's British.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, Pete.
That's right. He's come in.
No, it's not Peter Norman. That's the Australian.
Peter.
No, I can't remember.
Radford.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Peter
Right.
Radford.
Peter
Yes,
Radford.
yeah.
Yeah, and in the 100 meters final in Rome 1960, where did he finish?
Second, I think.
Yeah, third. He got a bronze medal.
Right. That was
Yeah, and
when
he-
the first 100 meter, first 10-second 100 meters was run, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in 1963, he broke the world record in the 4 by 110 yards with 3 men with the same surname. Can you remember him?
Smith and Smith.
Jones.
Old Jones. Can you remember what the Christian names were?
Jones the runner,
Gareth.
Jones the jumper, and Jones the thrower.
That's the right. That's 3. You're all right. Berwin, Ron, and David.
Berwin
with
Jones, I remember
Peter
him.
Radford, they won the world.
One of them must have been called Ivor.
Pardon?
Right.
Anyway, that's your lot.
Thank you,
Very
John.
good.
Well, I'm glad you got none out of 4 on that, John. After
I
the
saved
build up.
that for you, Paul. Yeah.
I know you did. Thank you.
Keith, I've got a
Right,
news flash.
we'll move swiftly on to Chris.
I've got a news flash, Keith, just a quickie.
Newsflash.
Mbappe tells Real Madrid he'll only join if they appoint Klopp as new manager.
Is that right?
Yep. Carry on.
It'll happen one day.
He's a twonk.
He is.
Yeah, Mbappe's a twonk.
He's not the
He's,
great one.
he's the new Ronaldo, isn't he, in terms of
Yeah, he is.
So
behaviour?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Eh?
Who is it? Sorry.
Kylian Mbappe.
PSG.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's him and other chuff at PSG. Sorry, Neymar.
Yeah.
They made perfectly for each other, and it's a pity that Ronaldo's not also in the same team because they could all preen themselves while they're playing. But anyway, that's me done for life, I suppose. Now
That's a good word. I like the word preen. It's a good
Preen.
Yeah.
preen.
Preen.
right, go on then, Chris. Tell us.
All right. Yeah,
Derek.
just a quick. I'm smiling as I think about it because that's what you do with Derek. You have done all his life. It was a follow up, really. We met. My mum and I went to Trent Bridge recently. Met up with Derek. You know, with a lot of other people, but we managed to have a few words, and he was just very open. Said, "Well, come up to the house and we'll have a chat and a coffee." And that's what we did last Tuesday. And he was there in his house on the outskirts of Nottingham with his wife, Liz, a couple of his grandchildren, and his very elderly father-in-law, Liz's dad, was 91. It was just a very nice couple of hours spent in his kitchen, reminiscing, chatting, current things, past things. We talked about, I don't know, from Retford in 1968 when he played in the championship team with my dad, all the way through to the centenary test, getting his first car, which he wrote off, by the way.
But he won, yeah.
First sponsored car, and it went back a wreck. It was a Capri, and just an amazing career. I did ask him, but I've never asked him things like this. You don't when you know somebody. I said, Derek, when you went off at the centenary test and you went through the wrong gate, and you ended up going up the gate to the royal box before realising. He said, I have no recollection of that at all. I said, seriously? He said, none. He said, all I was thinking about was the fact I was out and England hadn't quite won and the crowd cheering. And he said, the white railings round the ground at that time all looked the same. So I just went forward and I ended up going up the steps towards the Queen. He said, but people have had to tell me about it because I actually have no recollection of it. And isn't that an amazing insight into a sporting brain? Even though he's out, he was so in the zone of playing and what was he, how was he out, and what was he, he has no recollection of it at all. I thought that quite amusing. Currently, he is 70 odd now, although it doesn't look it. He is retired. He not working. He's not doing any guest speaking like he was doing. Wasn't a natural guest speaker, but he became very good. He learned how to do it. Very funny as well. He's playing a lot of golf. So he's playing local golf, and he says he's playing it very badly. I think that may be an understatement. I can't imagine Derek playing a game badly. Can you? But there we go. You know, his badly might be my brilliant. And he's just enjoying being around his 4 grandchildren and trying to play the guitar, which apparently he is rubbish at. I can imagine that. And the 2 hours passed in a very lovely way. Lots of chats and laughs. And it was a pleasure to see him. I hadn't been around to his house for many, many years. And he's just living a very quiet life, I think, now, but constantly asked, will he do this? Will he do that? It was very great. We gave him a load of stuff which we thought he might not have got. We gave him a lot of pictures and something that my dad meant him to have, which was one of the reasons for going to see him. So he did all that, and that spawned a lot of conversations. He did me the honour of signing a couple of things while I was with him in the kitchen. I'm very proud of the fact he signed that for me. That's you see that, guys?
Yes, I know
that's a very famous picture, hooking Lily in the centenary test, and that was one of 21 fours that he hit. It's a lovely autograph, and also I took him some fan mail. Because at the time of his centenary test exploits, as he became more famous from that, the fan mail became huge. And so it was all diverted to my dad's home address, and my dad, as his manager, dealt with it as best he could. But I found something in one of Dad's files, and I gave it to Derek. Here's a copy of it. This is a piece of fan mail, 1979-ish. And the person that sent it has drawn Derek pencil drawings. Can you see those?
Yeah.
They're all pencil drawings of Derek in various guises, hooking, avoiding, defend, all sorts of things. That was very skillful. And can you imagine the hours that somebody put into sending that to Derek? And so I've made sure Derek has now got the original. And here's a bit of a laugh. In 1978-79, Derek went back with England to play a very famous test series, which England won 5-1 under Mike Brearley. And when he got home, he gave my dad a boomerang from Australia, okay? A boomerang, right?
Yeah.
And on the back of the boomerang is the autograph of every single person on the official team photograph.
Wow.
Having won 5-1. The photograph's got people on it like Gooch, Botham, Miller, Gower, Ken Barrington, Boycott, Mike Brearley, Bob Willis, on we go. It even has the scorer who signed it. It even has the physiotherapist. But can you guess who didn't sign the boomerang?
Derek Randall.
The man who got them all to sign it didn't sign it. So I took the boomerang to his house and we got the boomerang out. And I said, it's 42 or 43 years since these autographs were acquired. Could you please now complete? It must be a world record number of years between original autographs and it being completed. And dear old Derek, I'll put my finger where he signed it. Derek has now signed Derek Randall on the back of the boomerang, and that therefore makes that complete. We did laugh about that. It's a typical Derek thing. And finally, there's a personal thing for me. In 2008, Derek was a speaker at the Retford 150th anniversary. He was one of two special guests that we got to come. One was indeed his old skipper, Mike Brearley, and obviously Derek. And Mike Brearley signed his picture of the event, but Derek, I've never seen Derek with the picture. So I asked him, would he do me the great honour of signing it? And it's just for me, but there's both autographs now, 2008, Mike Brearley, and now Derek. And for me, that was a special day in my life. And that picture is now a very, very good memento of that special evening. So that's it, guys. We shook hands. We'll meet up again, no doubt, in the next year or so. He remains an amazing individual. He's just a hero of mine, always has been since I was a lad, and he always will be.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Thanks, Chris.
It was a pleasure, really. Just I can't stop laughing every time I think about him.
Well, Derek, you say Derek's always smiled. On the way on a car journey down to Bristol with him, when he was injured and wasn't playing, but we were going, we stopped at the motorway services, and a lad called David, who was on the ground staff, and I and Derek all went in and had a coffee and on our way out, and David and I are walking along, and all of a sudden, no Derek. And we turn around and he comes chasing up from a till. I said, what was up? And he said, nothing. She just looked a bit glum, so I thought I'd go and cheer her up. Absolutely typical. Just, yeah.
Brilliant.
Great bloke.
All right.
When he recently was at Trent Bridge for this last match that my mum and I went to, I noticed he was having a lap round the ground on his own. He was just walking around, taking it all in, and people just came down from their various seats just to shake his hand.
Yeah.
Just to say, hi, Derek. And he has this ability to make everyone he meets feel quite welcomed and special, and just a remarkable character. Who it's been an honour to know and continues to be so. Just a tremendous bloke.
Right, we're less than a minute, Dave.
Sorry.
I was just going to mention, Keith, as you were mentioning in use of the group, my son is now out of the intensive care unit.
Good.
Well done.
Good.
Goodness for
He's
that.
going to the stroke rehabilitation centre at Hampshire Hospital. It will be